Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Facts with Dak. This episode is going to be completely different than what I had planned for this week. I was supposed to have a guest episode and I had a bunch of stuff planned, but things happen and we are pivoting. And so this will kind of be just like a mini update episode instead. I have a couple things that I'm going to be tweaking and some things that have been shuffled around. So we are going to hop right into that. I'm not going to waste any time. I am squeezing this recording in the midst of a very busy personal schedule on top of also being sick for the past week. And, we are just rolling with it right now. We are pivoting, trying to figure out how to combat the chaos. And, I think we've been doing pretty good. But this episode is going to be very different than what was expected. And so I am going to be making some changes to the podcast to hopefully streamline the process and make things easier for everyone, including myself. And without further ado, let's do it. Okay, so first things first, elephant in the room. Today's episode was supposed to be a guest episode. And honestly, I'm really bummed that it's not. I had planned with a friend of mine to do this week's episode, and unfortunately they were just not able to fit it in their schedule where I thought we were going to, so that is not happening this week. And that kind of threw me for a bit of a loop because I have all of my stuff planned out for the next little while. I had kind of scheduled things so that I could do one guest episode, one solo, and so the week came where we were supposed to record and we were not able to do that, and it just kind of threw all my plans up in the air. So we do not have a guest for today. Hopefully that will come with that guest, but we're gonna see how that goes. I've got some other people scheduled now, so things have been shuffled a little bit, but hopefully I will be able to get that guest on the schedule, in the books, in the recordings, and eventually have them on the pod. We were not able to make that happen this week, so I am here by myself. This is going to probably be a pretty short episode. It made me think a lot about just how I'm approaching the podcast, what content I'm putting out, what my vision is for the future of it as well. And it is starting to feel a little bit like a job. It's feeling a little bit heavy. I'm feeling pressured to just put something out for the sake of getting something out, and I hate that. That's not where I want to be at all with this. I want to feel joy and desire to be here and show up here in this space, and so I think that my ambition got the best of me. I'm going to be honest. I love the idea of putting an episode out every 2 weeks, but when I think about the reality of doing that, and even just my experience in doing that so far, it's a lot. It's a lot, I'm going to be honest. Not only does the recording take time, but the editing is usually twice the amount of time. So it eats up a lot of my schedule, and trying to schedule recordings and stuff with other people for the most part has been great, but I'm not going to lie, this last week, thinking that I was going to be recording with someone and then being oh, just kidding, I can't record with you this week. I panicked. It was not a good feeling. I did not feel good about it. And I think that I have been a little bit over ambitious. I also am way busier with my job in the summertime, spring and summer, and back to school season. This kind of 6-month period is super busy for me with work. It's also a lot more busy with family things and friend things. People are going out and doing more stuff because the weather is so nice. There's a lot of birthdays and graduations and weddings, and it's a very busy season. So we have, taken a look at the whole plate, and I am going to be making some adjustments to my entire life just to keep the balance. And part of that is pulling back on the podcast a little bit. And I struggled with making this call. I love doing this and this is super fun, but it is becoming a bit of a burden because 2 weeks is not a lot of time. It goes by very fast, and it's a lot of work on top of running my business and trying to show up as a friend and a family member and taking care of myself. It's just a lot. So we're pivoting and we're making some adjustments. Moving forward, there is going to be 1 episode per month. If I can eventually get to a place where recording for an episode every 2 weeks is something I can manage again and stay consistent with, we will hop back to that. But just thinking about how much time it takes and how it's feeling with having to be that current and that like frequent has just felt like a really heavy addition to my plate, and I want to balance that out. So I will be putting out 1 episode a month moving forward now. I will always be like putting on Instagram and stuff when they're coming out. I'll talk about that in the podcasts, just so that everything's nice and organized and you can still kind of gauge when the new episodes will come out. But instead of every 2 weeks, we're going to do once a month for now. Even if it's just for the summertime where I'm a little bit more busy, like winter hits and I basically do nothing because it's freezing cold out. So, we'll reevaluate once the colder months hit again. But for now, 1 episode a month feels a lot better for me, a lot more manageable for me. And I think it'll be a little better for you as well. I kind of got to a point where I was feeling with the solo episodes that I was repeating myself a lot. And while I feel like I'm doing so much stuff all the time and I want to talk about it all, a lot of these things are like with my family or my friends and they're really personal, and I'm here to share everything that I can about myself in this space. But a lot of the things that I'm doing with my time or conversations that I'm having with close loved ones, they're not things I'm going to bring here because it's not just my experiences, my thoughts, my feelings, and it's not my place to bring other people's business here. So I think that spreading things out a little bit more will be easier for me to manage, and it'll be easier for me to schedule. If I have someone scheduled to record with and something comes up and they can't make that work anymore, I have more wiggle room to still stay on track and stay consistent with my plans. Whereas last week we were supposed to record and the episode was supposed to come out yesterday. And so that gave me 4 days to figure out some other plan. And in those 4 days, I still had clients to work with. I still had family stuff going on. I just didn't have any extra time because I had blocked out a day and that was the only day I had. So 1 episode a month moving forward. It will still be on a Monday. I thought about doing every 3rd Monday or something like that, but that also just gets a little bit weird. So whatever Monday works for me in the month is going to be when the episodes come out. I'm still going to try to keep up with the 1 guest, 1 solo, but in my pivot, I think what we're going to do is at the beginning of every episode, I will do my intro and kind of talk to you face to face like this solo. We'll do a little catch up. And then we'll hop into the episode with the guest, and I'm going to kind of combine them together. In the event that something exciting happens or there's something extra that I want to share, I will either be doing that as a live on Instagram or just an Instagram reel, or I am open to doing a little mini episode every once in a while, throw you out a half an hour or whatever. If there's something exciting and extra that I want to add that doesn't really fit with the monthly episode of whatever month we're in. So we know that this year's word is balance. Everything is about balance for me this year. It literally applies to all aspects of my life. And this was one where I was starting to feel the scale tipping a little bit. Okay. And we're not doing that. Okay. We're not doing that this year. We're keeping things even. We're looking for peace. We're looking for softness. We're looking for balance. So that's what we're doing. 1 episode a month instead of every 2 weeks. We're going to try it out. We're going to see how it goes. I feel like it will be better for me. I feel like it'll be better for you. I feel like it'll be better for my guests. It's just going to take a little bit of the pressure off. It's not going to feel so much like a job. I just want to love and create and connect through this process and this podcast. So I want to keep things really light. I don't want it to feel like I'm pressured into doing any part of this. So yeah, we are going to do our best to pivot and rework things so that they fit into the schedule better. I am someone that is a very firm believer that you have to manage your plate for yourself. No one else is going to do that. They're going to pile shit on as much as they can. If your plate is full and you don't want any more on it, say that to people. Be like, I have as much on my plate as I'm comfortable with right now. I cannot take on any more. That is what I'm doing here. There's too much on my plate. I need to thin things out a little bit so that I'm not trying to balance all this shit and can't carry it and end up dropping the plate and creating a mess. So part of me is sad because my ambition absolutely gets the better of me, and I was feeling every 2 weeks is easy. That's no problem. 2 weeks is such a long time. That gives me so much time in between. No, it doesn't. 2 weeks is nothing. That time goes by so quickly. And I think even once a month, I'm still going to be feeling oh my God, I have to do all of these things. And I want to curb that as much as possible. I don't want this to be a I have to. I want this to be an I get to. Just reframing that is really important to me, and keeping this as something that I love to do is very important to me. This is a really great creative outlet for me, and I am trying to sink back into all of the creative things that I used to love doing. And so this is one of them. I love doing this podcast, and I want to continue loving this podcast. So we are going to do our best to kind of adapt as we need to. This will be the last episode for May. I will have one coming out in June. I do have a guest lined up, ready to record. That is going to happen either way, whether it's on the day that we have booked or not. We are going to have a guest, and I already have a guest for July. And so it'll be good. So I really just wanted to come in here and give a little update, let you know that we are pivoting and that we are changing things up a little bit. I have been terribly sick for the last week. There is a bit of a cold going around, and it is terrible. I have been sick since, I would say, it's been about a week and a day, and it's been terrible. I am someone that, like, as soon as I'm sick, I'm very grumpy because I hate being less capable. I hate not being able to, like, have the energy that I usually do. I am just grumpy about it. I dislike being sick so much. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice still. I can hear it in my voice. It's not all health around here right now. I'm doing my best to get enough rest and get enough fluids and keep myself hydrated, but it's been tough, honestly. It started with a really sore throat. I was kind of feverish through last week, and this goddamn cough is terrible. I do not wish this on anyone. It does seem like this bug is kind of going around right now, and from what I've heard, the cough lingers for quite a while, so I have that to look forward to. I took some time off work last week because I was really sick, and it's really hard to do my job while you have a rank cough, because I'm literally leaning over people like this far away from your face. That's nasty. We don't, like, am I going to cough in your face? That's gross. I don't want that. You don't want that. So thankfully, all of my clients are really great about when I'm sick, and like they equally don't want to be there if they're going to catch my germs. So I am very fortunate that all of my clients were really chill about having to move their appointments, but it did get me thinking a little bit about the controversy that is cancellation fees. I don't know why, but people seem to have an issue with it when it's like a sole proprietor, but have no issue paying it when it's like a hotel or a golf course or like a fancy restaurant. I don't know what the deal is there. I understand it's really frustrating to have appointments canceled last minute. It's happened to me. I have been the one to have to do it with either being sick or like emergencies coming up. Like, things happen, life happens, you know. For the most part, I am quite understanding. If something happens and you let me know as soon as you can, you know, I give grace where I can, but my business is also my livelihood. Like, if you don't show up, I don't make money. And I am someone that has a bit of a wait list, and, you know, a couple hours, for the most part, someone isn't able to just like pop over and fill that gap. So paying a cancellation fee when it comes to like service providers that rely on that time being filled to pay their power bill, their grocery bill, their rent, like whatever it is a little bit different than you not getting your hair done or your nails done, your lashes done. It's not the same equivalent. I understand that it's really frustrating to not be able to get your service done when you booked it, and there is the odd person that like takes time off work or something like that, so there is a bit of loss of income, but the scale is not the same. I do my best to like put a discount on the appointment or like give a freebie or something like that. If I have to cancel last minute, I always include some sort of like incentive to kind of make up that difference. But it is a tricky one, and it's always really scary, honestly, for me. Like, I've been doing the work that I've been doing for just about 10 years now, and I still get terrified. Like, I wake up literally like an inch from death, like so sick. I am terrified to text my clients and be like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I am not well enough to like do your service. And part of it is that like, I am inches from your face. you're most likely going to catch some sort of germ from me. I wear a mask and gloves where I work, and I keep everything very clean, disinfected, sterilized, whatever needs to be done. But I'm working so close to you. Like, there's a much larger chance that I'm going to pass my germs to you. So that's number one. Number two is, like, if I feel like shit and I'm having a hard time breathing and I'm feverish and like brain foggy, your results of your service are probably not going to be up to the standard that we both want. I can't perform my job as well when I am unwell, in whether it's like a mental or physical capacity. Of course, like family emergencies and stuff like that, no one has control over those things. Life happens and throws shit at you out of nowhere, and I do my best to accommodate that as best as I can. But I also, I have bills to pay, and I don't get to just walk away with the money that you pay me for your service. Like, for every $100 that comes into the business, I probably make about 40, 50 at the top end. You know, what you pay is not right into my pocket, like into my bank account to spend. So if you don't show up for a service, that could be me like not being able to pay rent, because that's the reality. Whereas like if I'm sick or something comes up and I have to move your appointment or cancel your appointment, it's very rare that I'm like flat out canceling someone's appointment. Like, now that I say that, that literally has never happened, unless I'm like firing the client, which is a whole other thing. That's only happened one time for me. So yeah, it's just different. Like, it's just a different scale there. The balance is not the same. The loss is not the same. And you know, I think as long as your service provider is like willing to work with you on that, you know, there's something to be said for like if someone's like, well, it's, you know, you're 1 hour within my 24-hour cancellation policy, you have to pay for your entire service now, and just like has like no wiggle room, you know, no, like there's no humanity in that. I think that there's got to be a little bit of push and pull from both sides. But like, I don't know, are you like calling up the golf course or the hotel or the restaurant that is charging you a cancellation fee and like complaining and telling them to fuck themselves? No. Why are you telling a single sole proprietor of a small business trying to like get groceries for their kids for the week? You know, I had to get on a soapbox about that a little bit because I saw a really big like real thread comment thing about it this week, and was like, I understand both sides. I understand frustration when a service gets canceled, whether or not you've like taken off work or made the time or however that works. It's frustrating as hell. I get it. And I also understand the like thought process of like, if I cancel last minute and have to pay, and you cancel last minute, like to get a free service. I understand how you arrive at that conclusion. I just don't agree with it because the loss is not the same. It's just not. I would love to hear more thoughts about that. It seems like it's a pretty hot topic right now. People either are like sympathetic and understand the balance is not the same, or they're very angry about it and think that they should just like get a free service if their provider is really ill or has a family emergency. I'm like, it's probably a person-to-person issue, and I think it depends on how your service provider handles both sides of it. You know, you can't be firm on one side and not on the other. It's got to be kind of even. I was thinking about it this week because I had to move people. I woke up with a rank fever and a crazy cough and was just like so ill, and I had felt totally fine going to bed the night before. So I woke up with like a handful of hours before my work day and was like, holy fuck. I'm like in bed, like texting my clients, like, I am so fucking sorry, but like, you don't want to be around me right now. And it's terrifying. You never know how someone's going to react, and it sucks disappointing people. It sucks frustrating people, but like, life happens. I think as long as you're understanding from both sides and like also give your clients grace and understanding, like obviously if someone's like fucking with your time, like that's different, but I think there's a balance to be struck there. And I don't think that cancellation fees are out of pocket. I think that's totally fair. I think that big corporations charge them all the time and people have zero complaints and they just suck it up and do it because they know that like they can't argue with a giant company. But that doesn't make it okay to argue with your local lash girl. Okay, she's just out here trying to like make a life for herself. So like, just be nice about it. I don't know. Just be nice. Just be kind. Okay? Okay, so that was all I really had to bring to the table today. I have been so ill and just in bed, coughing and trying to breathe and just trying to like nurse myself back to health for the last week. And so this is really all I got for you. I'm really bummed that we were not able to get the guest episode out this week, but it is what it is. We are rolling with it. we're pivoting, and the next episode will be coming out sometime in June. I will be announcing that kind of like probably about a week before it comes out. I'll give you a little heads up so that you can kind of plan ahead when you're going to listen, and give you a little sneak peek of what's coming so that you know if you want to listen or not. And aside from that, I am just going to be, doing my best to kick this sickness's butt and manage all of the things that are on my plate right now, because it is a lot. And while I do love that, I am also a homebody, and I love my downtime. So we're making more room for that. This year's word is balance. We know this. So yeah, today's episode is kind of like a mini little update just to let you guys know what is going on. I really appreciate the support and just like the ongoing encouragement that I'm getting from so many people, whether you're my family or my friend or my client or just like someone that I've met once or twice. I really appreciate that you spent your time with me here, and I appreciate that you're here for the ride. We started off really strong, and we started off kind of like fall winter time, and it was really easy for me to kind of pump out episodes and just like throw all of this out there. But I'm getting to the point where I need a little bit of wiggle room. I am going to be spending as much time lounging and recouping as I can this week. It's a little bit like rainy and gray out this week, so at least I don't feel like I'm like missing out on the sunshine. But I'm going to be just, bringing it all in so that I can bring you a stellar episode in June with a really exciting guest. It is not going to be the guest that I had planned for this week. That will be scheduled in somewhere else because I already have 2 other people lined up for June and July. We'll figure it out. We'll get the guest on. We'll figure it out. I really appreciate all of your support and all of your patience, and I am just like stoked to continue to show up on my Instagram page to share authentic human thoughts and feelings, and have some people on this podcast that I'm really excited to pick their brains and share some of their knowledge and their wisdom. And yeah, the next couple months are going to be exciting. It's going to be a little bit less of the pod, but I am going to be showing up more on social media to kind of cover that balance. I want to show a little bit more of my like day-to-day life, do some de-influencing, because there's a lot of just absolute crap on the internet, and it's so unhealthy to just compare and like watch other people's lives all day. I want to be an example of reality in a place where basically everything is fake. There's so much AI and shit now that like half of the content that I'm looking at on the internet, it's not even real. Like, the people aren't real, the words aren't real. It's wild. There's this one commercial that I keep seeing on Tubi, which if you don't know what it's a streaming app for like free movies and TVs and stuff. And so there's ads, and there's this one ad. It's for Trivago. I am fully convinced that this is a fully AI commercial, that the people are not real, the words are not real. Everything about this commercial feels computer generated. Like the teeth on the people look like not real. They look like almost like caricatures of humans, where I'm just like, someone typed in, this is like all of the specs for the commercial for what they wanted for Trivago, and AI just like made this commercial, and they were like, yep, post it, it's good. Like, they didn't look at it at all. Some of the language, I'm like we don't talk like that. Like, humans don't talk like that. It's weird. It gives me the heebie-jeebies every time it comes on, which is a lot because they have like 6 commercials that they just like cycle the whole time. But yeah, I'm like running out of breath because I'm still so sick. That is where we're at. Is that getting on a long-winded tangent for me right now is like dicey because I can barely breathe and I can feel my congestion coming back. So I think that's time for us to cut it for today. But yeah, I want to show up with authentic, realistic content, show you more of like what my day-to-day looks like so that you can see an example of a real human being. I'm not trying to shit on anyone if you live your life differently than I do, but I think that a lot of people are feeling crappy about the way that they live their lives because they see so much like exaggerated fake shit on the internet all day that they feel like they're not doing enough, or they don't make enough money, or they don't have enough friends, or like whatever the thing is. And you don't need to feel like that, period. Like, the internet is like 90% fake. Everyone's life looks very different. Everyone has a different idea of what life should look like and feel like and be like and whatever. And I want to show up and be that like realistic person on the internet that's not putting out any bullshit and that just is saying it like it is, showing it like it is, because we're humans, okay? Everyone is human. We all do things that we like, that we don't like. We get along, we don't get along. Just be a fucking human. I'm just so frustrated lately with people feeling like they have to fit some kind of mold or fit some kind of standard or show up in some sort of way because society says that they need to, whether it's on social media, in your business, with your friends, with your family, whatever. If you don't like it, and if you feel like you have to push yourself, it's probably not aligned for you. I get asked a lot, like, oh my God, like, I just feel like I have to, like, post on Instagram or, like, what from, like, other business owners. Lots of people talk about how difficult it is to show up on Instagram consistently. And my response is always just like, then don't. Like, I just don't. Like, if something starts to feel so resistant that I'm having to go to other people and, like, vent about it or complain about it and be like I am exhausted, like, I can't show up on social media consistently. It's getting me so down. Like, I just want to, like I'm trying so hard to get content out, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, this sounds like you hate it. Why are you doing it? Like, just because the internet tells you that you need to doesn't make it true. I don't know. Just like, I just want to see some individuality and some critical thinking. I hate the fact that a lot of people feel like carbon copies of other people. A lot of people are looking very similar because it's trendy to get certain beauty products or treatments or whatever. People are acting the same, liking the same things because it's cool or trendy, and I just hate it. It's such a waste of time, and I think that eventually you're going to look back and you're going to regret it. And I think that if something feels like it's really hard work and that you're having to really push yourself to get through it, like, obviously there's exceptions to that, but with the day-to-day things, like getting the podcast out every 2 weeks started to feel really heavy. Fuck that, I'm not doing that then. We're going to figure that out, and we're going to figure out a different situation so it doesn't feel like that. I have gone through phases where I've been like, oh my God, I have to show up on social media. I have to post every second day on my business page to, like, get clients. No, you fucking don't. I have posted maybe 1 or 2 posts in the last, like, handful of months on my business page, and people are consistently booking with me. Like, I just hate seeing so many people be so miserable and, like, not actually happy and fulfilled, but filling all of their time with shit that they think they should be doing. I hate that. If you're doing something because you feel like you should be instead of wanting to do it, it's gross. It's gross. Like, it's the same idea of, like, I would not want someone to come to my birthday party because they feel like they should. I want someone to come to my birthday party because they want to be at my birthday party and they want to celebrate with me. It's that, like, same kind of mentality where I'm just like, if you don't want to do something, like, genuinely you don't want to do it and you don't feel pushed to do it, but you're, like, forcing it, the universe feels that. It feels that resistance. It feels that pushback. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to ever feel good if you're just forcing yourself to do things because it, like, fits the status quo or because you feel like you should do it or you have to do it. Like, at the end of the day, that's nasty. Like, I don't want to be doing things that I feel forced into doing. And I don't want you to do something that you feel forced into doing. Remove the, like, universal spiritual alignment, whatever. Like, just generally, I don't want to feel forced into doing anything. And, you know, there's exceptions. Of course, there's exceptions to everything. But in the grand scheme of things, if I don't want to do something and my body or my brain is being like, nah, like, this does not feel good, this is burning us out, this is causing me anxiety or whatever emotion or whatever I'm feeling is negative, we either don't do it, full stop, or we figure out some way to make it feel better. So, like, with the podcast, every 2 weeks felt really overwhelming, but I love the podcast. I just didn't love feeling pushed to record just because I said that I was going to do every 2 weeks. So I'm going to do once a month. We'll lighten that load, but I still get to do something I love. That's the compromise. This past weekend, I got invited to a party at a friend's house, and I had zero desire to go, but I have not seen this friend in a really long time. And so part of me was like, well, fuck, like, they never have parties. This isn't really an opportunity that comes up a lot. I'm, like, sick, but I'm feeling a little bit better. I could probably go for, like, an hour or like whatever, like just make an appearance. And then I sat with myself and was like, I literally don't want to go at all. Like, why would I go and bring that energy to this person? Like, I don't want to show up and obviously not want to be there. Like, that's not the vibe that I want to be bringing. And that's not the energy I want to be bringing to this person that I haven't seen in a long time. Like, also. So I just messaged someone. I was like, hey, like, I'm really sorry if this is like disappointing. I would love to see you, but I'm recovering from being sick. I called into work this week. Like, I'm really not feeling like this is the right time for me to come out and like party with you. I know that this is something that happens rarely and I would love to see you, but maybe we could figure something else out and get together some other time, because I just like am not feeling it and don't want to crush the vibe. And this friend was like, absolutely, we will figure that out. Like, don't come if you're not feeling up to it. I don't want you to feel pressured to come. Yeah, that's the way, honestly. Like, other people can feel it if you don't want to be there, and that sucks for them and it sucks for you. So just be nice and stay home. That's all I got. Okay, we ended up getting back on the soapbox. You know, I've been sick. I've been at home doing nothing, not being social. So this is ending up being a bit of an episode. But we are going to wrap it up because I need to take a breather, have a hot shower, and deal with some of this congestion. I do have to go back to work today. So to conclude this episode, moving forward, we will have one episode per month. It will be a guest and solo episode. We'll put both of them together. I will be showing up on social media a little bit more on the Facts With Dak page, just to de-influence a little bit and share some realism in the midst of a bunch of AI crap. And yeah, that's all. That's all I got for you today. Don't push yourself to do things you don't want to do. Surround yourself with people that understand and give you grace for that. Show respect to service providers and, you know, treat them like human beings. We're not big corporations. We are usually doing it on our own. You know, there's grants and people have spouses and family that help with stuff and things like that, but not all of us have those advantages. I am one of those people. So, you know, I have no backup plan. Genuinely don't. I am wholeheartedly, fully in my business. Same goes for the podcast. I do literally all of this myself. I don't have anyone helping me. You know, I have emotional and like mental support, of course. Like, my friends and family love me and support me that way, but I do all of the stuff to do with this on my own. I do all the stuff to do with my business on my own, and it's a lot. So we're trying to find the balance, and I encourage you to do the same. I think that life is too short to spend it doing shit that doesn't feel good to you, and that wherever you can find a little bit of space for yourself to feel joy and to feel love and to feel peace, you should take it. Whether that means buying a designer bag or going to the spa, or it means meeting your friends for coffee or staying home for the night when all of your friends are going to a party. Whatever that looks like for you, do it. And whatever doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. Facts with Dak. All right, so I am wrapping this up for real. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode today. I know it was probably a little bit of a quicker one, but I appreciate you being here with me nonetheless. I will be back in June with our next episode, and I will be announcing more details for that on my Instagram as it gets a little bit closer. I am just so appreciative that you are here along for the ride with me, and I'm looking forward to, you know, pacing things out a little bit better as we move forward with the podcast. So make sure to share, like, subscribe, follow, do all the things that help me get this podcast out into the world. Thank you so much for being here with me today, for dealing with my sickness, and for listening to my sick voice for however long this podcast ends up being. I appreciate you so much, and I hope that the rest of your day is as magic as you are.